Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick Gingham Unremarkable candle from Bath & Body Works. This is like a neutral variation of, I guess, their Gingham line, but it doesn't smell anything like any of the other Ginghams, which are traditionally more fruity, so I wouldn't actually equate or associate this with any of the other Gingham fragrances. But yeah, any case, the notes on Gingham Unscented read fresh neroli, sparkling water, and clean musk. And yeah, this is truly quite unremarkable. I don't know. It's just kind of there, and then it's also not very strong either, so it's just kind of like a throwaway candle for me. I'm just really not getting anything much from this. But what you can smell of it when you directly hover over the wax blower on cold is just kind of like this very bland, diluted version of their white t-shirt candle. So I feel like that's sort of just like clean fragrance that's a little bit laundry, a little bit soapy, and very much just neutral in the sense it doesn't lean too feminine or too masculine. This is up your alley, and perhaps the body care is maybe a little bit stronger, so at least this serves as what the body care might smell like. But what I get first and foremost is just kind of like this sort of bland lime, like a watery lime fragrance, but it doesn't really have the usual zest that like a lime or a citrus fragrance has, but it's still distinctly that kind of like, I guess, sparkling water fragrance they put. It's kind of like, think of like the bland lime quality we got from that sparkling limeade candle a while back. It's kind of like that. So there's a bland flat citrus that gives it a little bit of this sort of like clean soapy quality to it, and then it's mixed with just kind of this sort of like dry woody fragrance that gives it just so much a neutral tone to it. Think of like maybe sort of just the dry woodiness of like something in Book Loft, where it's like not quite feminine, not quite masculine. It's just like this very neutral sort of like woody fragrance that just adds a little bit more depth to sort of like the clean fragrance that this gives you. And then there's maybe just a little bit of like a soapiness from maybe just like a very light lavender that gives it that sort of like laundry feel to it. It says fresh neroli. I really don't get neroli by the way of the usual obvious neroli that we get that has that more sort of powdery, heavy, heady white floral fragrance that's similar to the, like orange blossom. I don't really get that. This isn't really a traditionally orange blossom fragrance that you would get from like sea salt neroli or any of their other sort of like white floral fragrances. So it's not really like that. It's just like if you took white t-shirt and just kind of like made it as bland and dialed down as possible, it's kind of what Gingham Unstoppable smells like. So you just get like a clean, sort of fresh, soapy, somewhat laundry fragrance, but just in a very like neutral, very subdued type of way. There's nothing fruity about this. It doesn't really borrow anything from any of the other Gingham variations we've had, so don't think of that whatsoever. Yeah, just quite unremarkable. This is a fourth burn, and it has the core wicks on it, and it pulls out no problem. It does start sooting towards the end of like a 3-hour burn, so just make sure you're always trimming them, but fine and good to go for that. As for the throw, it's really, I would say like maybe a 2. It's quite light. I can barely smell it like in an open concept area. It's like maybe you get a whiff of it when you first walk in, but I really can barely even detect that. I would say definitely in the light 2 range. Yeah, it's just very unsatisfactory. Overall, yeah, instead of Gingham Unstoppable, I would say unremarkable, unsatisfactory, or unscented would maybe describe this fragrance a little bit more. I was really excited for this because I do really enjoy neroli, and I wouldn't mind having a neroli, variation candle, as the notes indicate, but there's just something so bland and flat about this. It's just like if I wanted something that was more like clean laundry feeling in the same realm of, I guess, what this is supposed to offer, like white t-shirt was so much stronger and more potent, but maybe they just want something that's even more neutral and more inoffensive than white t-shirt, and so this is that. But the fragrance, at least based on performance, I simply can't recommend, but maybe perhaps the body care has better longevity or strength to it. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.